and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie. This is week 26, June the 21st through the 27th, weekly wrap up, and you guys get to find out who the giveaway winner is. Okie dokie, if you didn't see the thumbnail, yeah, this week has been absolutely crazy, and I was in a bit of a reading slump, although many of you, when I get to that portion of it, telling you how many books and what I read this week, are going to be like, that's not a reading slump. For me, it was a reading slump, and it's all because I had other plans, that decided to jump in my way. So, if you didn't also notice, I have big hair going on today. I had to let my scalp breathe. I had to pull out my ponytails and just let it be. So, had to put on the headband and, you know, go from there. It's not going to last because I'll sit down and then the poof goes away and it's not as big and it just kind of flattens out and does its own thing because it doesn't like to hold curls, and my arms get tired when I'm trying to do my hair. Even that just killed my shoulders and my neck and everything like that, and just this is why I have been like bald or was bald, like shaved off my hair a lot up until like the last like going on 3 years now, when I started to grow this natural madness of hair out. And but you know, that was before coronavirus and I couldn't go to the hair store, and before I got fired from 2 jobs and, you know, things like that. So if you are willing to donate, check out that description box because I have my PayPal and my Ko-fi links down there. My Amazon wish list is down there too, so if you decide that you want to, you know, buy me a book or something like that, you don't have to, because you guys know I'm usually an ebook audiobook lover, and all of my books back there are from the authors and they're signed, so I really am not big into getting physical books unless I'm getting them from the author, or from the author, period. Just getting them from the author. Let's see, what else? Oh yes, got my car back on Tuesday and then ended up having to take it back in on Friday because I'm driving down the road, down this major road at that, come to a stoplight. All of a sudden, my horn goes off again. And I'm looking around like, is that my car? Looking at the lady next to me, and she's looking at me like, why are you honking your horn at this red light? Yeah, that was great. That was great. Did a couple live shows. If you are not subscribed to me over or following me over on Instagram, why not? You need to be, because I do a lot of little mini clips. I think I'm going to start instituting a live show over there, or like a live sit down session, what have you. I don't know, once a week or so, but it will be in my stories on live. I don't know when I'm going to do them, so you need to be following me so that you can get notified of when I am live. I mean, come on, people. What? Because I'm impromptu like that. You guys seem to like to see my shelves, and I figured out that the range on my router comes down here to the room now really well. I also was a guest on Avery and Bree's monthly, I think it is, monthly Ask Me Anything live show with them. It was a good time. Those 2 hours flew by so fast. Yeah, it was a great time. You know, Avery from Avery Loves Books, Bree, Lauren from In Love and Words. I think that's it. Yeah. Naima from Naima Reads, Bree from Bree Hill, and Riley from Riley Marie. We all just had a good time chatting it up, talking about romance, and I was good. I was so proud of myself. Avery and Bree asked that we keep it like PG-13, and I am so proud of myself that I like legit kept it PG-13. Because if you guys have seen any of my other live shows where I host with like Jen from the Book Refuge, or some of my other romance bookish friends, we can go all out and get kind of raunchy. So I'm so proud of myself for keeping it PG-13. So proud of myself. So in between all of that, I only got 6 books read last week. So let's get into the 6 books that I did read last week. I started the week off finishing Loudmouth which is Ice Knights number 3 by Avery Flynn. I am placing this in rom-com because it's so funny. I give it 4.5 stars. I give it 3.5 Steam fans. I read this as an ARC. It is available now for you guys to go and read. So go check this out because it's funny. You have Shelby, who is the sort of new voice of the Ice Knights. She has this online presence and paper called The Onion, I think it is. I think that's what it's named. But she happens to get a phone call from her mom, and she's really nervous about her first day at work. So she steps into the bathroom. Well, she didn't clear the bathroom. And a huge secret that rocks the Ice Knights and one of their star players, Ian world, the secret comes out, and it's crazy. So Ian doesn't take the news very well, like at all. It's not a pretty sight. He ends up getting injured, and Shelby ends up going off to this cabin that was set up by the Ice Knights PR agent person, spinner of all things PR. And guess where Ian ends up going to recover and wallow in his injury? Yep, that same cabin. And then there's a snowstorm. So we have 2 people that are mad at each other, but at the same time attracted to each other, get caught in a snowstorm, and that's the beginning of Shelby and Ian's journey. They are then forcibly put into different situations where they kind of have to see each other, because I mean, Shelby works for the Ice Knights and Ian is their hockey player. So yeah, it was a fun time. I really enjoyed it. And yeah. And plus I loved the cover. I thought it was super cute. The next book that I finished was Reborn yesterday. Phenomenal Fates number 1 by Tessa Bailey. I place this in a paranormal romance. I give it 4.25 stars. I gave it 3 Steam fans. I listened to this as an audiobook in preparation to read the second book in this series, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And this book follows Jenny and Jonas. They have this connection. Jenny is a mortician, but she's also a dress designer. But because she works in as a mortician and deals with dead bodies, she's gotten sort of this bad rap with the group and her sewing circle and things like that. Well, Jonas ends up on her table to embalm him one night, and lo and behold, he comes back alive. Maybe just a little bit. And they have a bond, and this is them sort of following that attraction, not knowing what's going on. She has no clue what's going on, and then come to find out he is like the prince of the vampires. And whew, it's a story, and it's fantastical, and I really enjoyed it. The next book that I finished was The Heir, selection number 4 by Keira. I placed this in dystopian. I give it 3.5 stars. I give it 1 Steam fan. I listened to it as an audiobook, and this is the first female-driven selection. Princess Adlin, I believe that's how we say her name. She is the daughter of America and Maxim, and the country is still sort of in an uprise. It's been 20 years since the original selection, and now we are seeing this princess sort of possibly ascending to the throne because she was born 7 minutes before her twin brother. And so this is the first time that we have a little bit of unrest, and they think that a selection will help sort of die down this unrest, what have you. And she's going to be the queen anyways, so, you know, this is a good time to sort of get her really out there, right? Well, I was a little dragged into the story. Adlin is a freaking whiny, annoying character. She was very, very privileged. Very privileged. And I wanted to choke her throughout most of the book. It wasn't very well set up on who her actual suitors, her front-running suitors would be. I mean, there is like a slew. So once again, you have 35 bachelors from the nation that come into the palace, and they're all sort of kind of courting her in like a Hunger Games style. But she has less interaction than Maxim did when during his selection. So it was super weird, and they kept referring back to, you know, Maxim and America's selection, and she kept learning Adlin kept learning little things about their parents' selection, that it wasn't like such a huge love story and things like that. So it was like, that's kind of weird. But like I said, there were no front-running suitors at that point or at the end of the book, and I didn't really like the end of the book either. The cliffhanger that ended up happening, I was like, that was kind of out of left field. And then the next book that I finished was The Crown, which is selection number 5, the final installment of this by Keira. I place this in dystopian. I give this one 3 stars, and I'm being generous with those 3 stars. I give it 1 Steam fan. I listened to it as an audiobook, and this is where she finally chooses. She narrows it down. Some things end up happening, like I said, at the end of the Heir that flow over into The Crown. I was a little like, okay, where are we going to go with this? And still, 60% into the book, we really didn't have a front runner. We had some, you know, reasons why this person wasn't viable or this person wasn't viable. But they really jumped the shark at 60%. I sort of saw where her suitor ends up. You know, I could feel it throughout the Heir and to The Crown, you know, that this was probably going to be the suitor that she ends up picking, and, or the person that she was going to end up picking. But there was a lot of extra that just didn't need to be there. I was just like, why? And then when I hit the 80% mark, I legit wanted to like throw something, because I was like, that just wasn't necessary. And once we got to the end of the book, I was just like, and the end of the series, I was like, why? I totally should have taken the advice of my friends that have read all the 5 books and just stopped at book number 3. So, yeah. But there could be someone that, you know, feels differently about it, and I don't blame you for that, because it was a really intriguing sort of, you know, duet, but at the same time, it wasn't really needed. The next book that I finished was X-Clan The Experiment, which is X-Clan 1.5 by Lexi C. Foss. I place this in dystopian paranormal romance. Yes, please. I gave it 4.25 stars. I gave it 4 Steam fans. I read this as an ebook, and it was flippin' fabulous. I loved it so much. So I think if you were to look it up on Goodreads, or if you're gonna go out and look up this book, make sure that you look up Lexi's name versus saying X-Clan, because it might pop up, but it may not pop up, because on Goodreads it has it as The Experiment, and then in parentheses it has X-Clan 1.5 as the number. So I'm not exactly sure how you can pull it up, but it is so fantastic. So this one follows Elias, who is the second in command in the Andorra sector, and he is dealing with the Ash Wolf and the sort of agreement that this Shadowland sector has with Andorra sector. They're trying to create more Omegas in the Andorra sector because they are lacking in them. And if you have read any of the other stories, which you don't have to, you can read this as a standalone. It's not as good as a standalone, because well, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. It is great as a standalone because it's going to make you want to read both Andorra Sector and Winter's Arrow, because I'm just loving this series and I cannot wait for the third book to come out, which, come to find out, isn't coming out until like next year. I thought I had to wait until the fall, but come to find out, it's not until the next year. And okay, I'm off on a little tangent. So back to freaking X-Clan, the experiment. So we have Elias, who is taking care of Danica, who is the Omega from Shadowlands. She is trying to find out if the Ash Wolves and the Andor Sector Wolves or Alphas can mate and produce more Omegas so that they can continue on in their line and they can start a new alliance. It was so good. It was so good. I loved that Elias didn't just try and take Danica and use her. He found that she had flaws and that she had some trauma in her past and really dealt with that and really helped her through that to see that, you know, the Alpha and the Omega needed to be together and that they were the match. And yes, loved it. Oh, so much. But like I said, I have to wait now until next year to get the next book. And I'm a little frustrated by that. But Lexi does have a huge backlist of books that I may have to get into. That I just may have to get into. Because she definitely has me on a paranormal romance kick right now. Yes. And then the final book that I finished last week was Changing Her Luck by Ella Maven, and this is a paranormal alien novella. I give it 3.5 stars. I give it 3 Steam fans. I listened to it on the podcast of Read Me Romance. Read Me Romance. And this book follows Leah, who has bad luck, obviously, because she gets fired, I believe, from her job. Or she gets a promotion. It's something, but her and her friends are like drinking it up, and then she passes out, and the next thing she knows, she's on an alien ship and she decks some guy, and then they crash, and then they meet Tron, and he's another alien and ends up taking her, and this brings out his alphaness and his protective side, and he takes her on to, you know, his planet, and they're together. Yep. That's that story. So, there's that. It is now giveaway time. You guys were awesome in signing up for this giveaway. It is The Last Letter in mass market paperback and a copy of Great and Precious Things both by Rebecca Yarros, and a $10 Amazon card that I will email to you, to the winner. And thank you guys. And thank you for indulging in my, curiousness of figuring out why you guys wanted the books. So I have all you guys right here in my little container. Shake it up. Make it random. Because that's what I do. Random. Random. And the winner is... And I'm sorry ahead of time if I botch up your name. I didn't mean to. I will notify this winner via email, as well as saying the name right now. And make sure that we verify the address and everything like that. So, Trisha Stewart. Be on the lookout in your email, because you are the winner of the signed books and Amazon card from Rebecca Yarros. The Amazon card is from me. The books are from Rebecca Yarros. So, congratulations. Thank you for playing my game. And I hope you enjoy these books. Alrighty, on to what I am currently reading. I am currently still in the middle of trying to read This Time Tomorrow by Tessa Bailey. Yes, it's the third week that I've had this on here, but I am actively reading it now. Actively reading it. And this book follows Roxana and our male lead. Who is our male lead? I think it's Elias. I think this one's... No. This one's not. Maybe it is. I think it is. I can't remember. You guys will find out for sure next week because I will finish this book. And also You Make It Easy by Fabiola Francisco. This is an arc that will be coming out soon. So I'm so excited to be reading this book because I just love this series. This is the 5th book in the Love in Everton series, and I just love it. Small town, country freaking stars, and just, yes. So many yeses. I am so for this series. Okay, so I think that's all. Make sure that you are checking the description box because I timestamp things down there. So if you missed a review or I was talking and you missed the cover for that book, you can pause it, check the timestamp, and figure out what book it was that you are now interested in down in the description box. I have a recommendation form down there that all you have to do is give me the title of the book, the name of the author, and the genre in which you think it falls into, and your name so that if I end up reading it, I can shout you out. I am preparing something with that recommendation list because I think I might need to sort of really focus on how I put that out, or how you guys perceive, or what to suggest to me, because there are some random things on there. Random. Also, there is my Ko-fi down there and my PayPal links, so that if you are feeling generous and you want to donate to the cause of me and keeping this channel running successfully and better and all of that goodness, those links are down there as well. There is a feedback form down there that I have been collecting for quite some time, and you guys have been leaving me suggestions and just comments, and I love it. Thank you for using that feedback form, even if it's just to say I love your videos, and I didn't feel like putting it on a comment on a specific video. I just wanted to let you know that I love your videos. Thank you very much. But there is a recommendation form down there, so that if you think that I can improve my channel, how I can improve my channel, you guys can give me suggestions. I may or may not use them. But yeah, that's down there. Amazon wish list, Amazon storefront. I still haven't gotten better at updating that, but I will, because, you know, if there's a way to do that, then, you know, go forth and help out that way. I think that is all that I have to say at the end of this video. In that case, if you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys in the next video.